shining light. We are all born shining bright, oozing our pure divinity light. Babies are a source of loving joy, each and every new girl and boy. As the years pass, the light within dims, but remains steadfast, illumined within, waiting for intuition to take hold, not just doing as we've been told. Once we set on our true light path, there is more to life. We love and laugh. Knowing source will guide our way. Our light grows stronger day by day. Our inner light regains its glow, radiating out, always on show. Drawing those who think alike, sparks fly as matches strike. All this light we constantly emit doesn't fade or droop or sit. It ignites high into the sky, surrounding the earth. Always available to those in need. Light is a constant source to feed. People's light seems to be fading. Taking in light initiates mending. Our capacity to love and share shows to all we truly care. Makes us sparkle and beam, united together as a team. I'm here to illuminate hate and fear. We can do this, we are one, together as blinding as the sun. All our lights combine to make all of humanity shine. Exponentially we excel and grow. Together we will make the earth glow. As each light joins to be a part of what we came here to start, the chains of negativity we break, more souls we will awake. Your light is a precious part of the soul felt in your heart. So let it out, uncovered, uncurled. You are the light of the world. Thank you.
Well, I'll be blowed. Yeah, that was, yeah. Well, it's one of those very rare moments when I can say I'm actually lost for words. And I know that here and everyone at home will be gladly relieved of that. Alan and your friends, thank you. Absolutely stunning. And I know it's already doing rounds in the hall. For anyone who actually missed my address at home because it glitched and muted me, don't worry, you just heard it all again, but in better words. But there we are. So now is the time in our service when I'm going to ask our Tony to come forward and lead our healing, and he'll give you the explanation for all of that. But basically, if you want healing, put your hand up and keep it up when he says so, and then keep it up until there's a healer stood behind you. Healers, get yourselves ready. I will join in if needed, because, you know, I'm here for that. But for now, I'm going to say the magic words. Over to you, T.
So kind. As Nick said, if you want some healing in the next or so, just raise your hand. Prepare to give some healing. Stand up, turn around, find somebody with the hand up and make your way there. Nick, we're going to need you. Come over. Yeah. Okay. Over there. You can go there. Yeah, is that okay? Oh, fine. Well, we'll do you as well. We'll get to you before the end of the thing, don't worry. I have to say first, healers, get yourselves ready and heal away while I do this little bit. When groups of like-minded people such as us are formed, they will grow. And as they grow, love, compassion, and healing will grow. When one gives healing, healing is present. Where many gather to give and receive healing, the power of that healing is multiplied. So, Great Spirit, we ask for all those that are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. With your help, let us send our healing thoughts to them now.
Well, thank you to Tony. Thank you to all of our healers. And of course, thank you to all of our recipients. It's always so very important to cover the three big birds of spiritualism: mediumship, philosophy, and of course, the love of healing. And I think it's absolutely wonderful that healing can be given, but never underestimate the importance of asking for it. That's the big one. Well, I'm afraid I've already made one big faux pas today. I told a lie to our medium, because I said that he'd have a platform from around about past 8. But at schedule, word, which is very rare. So, you know, all more for you. But in a moment, I'm going to hand over to your good self. But of course, should Chris, excuse me, I still haven't had my tooth fixed yet, so if I keep spitting my words out, might be teeth coming too. Should Chris come to you, Please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, don't know. And of course, send your loving thoughts to him. Give him your love, your laughter, your energy. Raise the roof, raise the rafters, raise the vibrations. And so now, raise some sonic booms as we say welcome. And I hand him over to you now. Our medium for this evening, Chris Jacobs. There we go.
Thank you, everybody, for the warm welcome. Sorry, I'm not quite as loud as his lordship here. I nearly didn't need my hearing aids. So, well done to you. Okay, what is mediumship about? What do we know about it? Well, it's where we bring the two worlds together. It's where our loved ones come forward and show that they still have that same desire to communicate with us, that they still want to show us their love and their joy. And they don't change who they are. They can have, and they are who you remember. The point to come back here is to show you what's on, to tell you to live the best possible life that you can live. Because if we really do understand that we live on, then we can let go of so much that hold back while we're here. They're living in fear, for one. That we know we have got to correct those mistakes we've made. Look at how we interact with one another. Because spirit does not reside within the spirit world. It lies here with you, your spirit. The spirit within. So if it is with us, then we've got to see that it is in each other. So let's treat people how we want to treat, with a little kindness, a little love. Let's not jump to conclusion just because they've tried to bite your head off. Let us look as to why. Why would you react in that way? Possibly they're in the same situation. So spirit is here now, it's relevant. You are spirit. In fact, you are what I term the message itself. You are God's voice, God's inspiration. So let that light shine. Shine as bright as possible as you can. Live like you want to live. Because there's plenty more of it. Thank you. Okay. While I was sat here, I was very much aware of a gentleman with me. I kept dashing here and dashing there around the hall. So I do feel that he would be a busy man. And as I saw his form here, I know that he wasn't much taller than myself. So he's quite a smallish man. He's probably be maybe just slightly shorter than I am. And I do feel, as he came close to me, I had a wonderful sense of humor with him. And he kept telling me, I'm T. So would you understand I'm the T-boy? Oh, Linda, okay. All right, can I... Oh, right. Sorry. Okay. Was he the teas made? Because he kept saying he had teas made. And I said, what's email? He goes, that was me. I was the teas made. I was there. So I'm going to, I'm sorry, I haven't been here for a long time, but I feel that I want to talk about Frank. Is that correct? Okay. Thank you. This will be your husband and obviously your father then. Thank you. All right. I'm sorry I didn't know anything had happened. Okay. he comes here because he's so full of joy. I feel he still wants to do all the jobs he used to do. He says, I put the chairs out, I did this and I did that, and I saw the table, and I saw to everything. And he was very happy to do that. He would like to be in the background more than in the foreground. Would you understand that? You know, but he has this joy that he wants to let you know, and I'm sure you already know, that he's still very much a top. Okay, I know that as he comes to you here, he's a little concerned that, you know, your mobility's got worse since his passing. Is that correct? Okay. He says here, oh, those legs are getting really bad. Do you have to massage them? Because he's massaging legs for you. All right. And also paraphernalia on them. Okay. And, you know, not that I need to see your legs, but he's telling me they're discolored as well. Would you understand that? So I don't know what the diagnosis is there. Okay. But he has tried on numerous occasions to let you know he's there. And he says, you have felt him. And if I'm correct here, you must talk to him on a nightly basis, near enough. Okay? Because it's like, I hear your voice at the last thing of night and the first thing in the morning. Okay? And so he comes as a very, very happy man here. Was his passing fairly quick, please? Because I just want lights out. All right? And he says, thank God for that. You know, he wasn't one, I don't think he would have had the temperament to suffer. Would that be correct? You know, he was not that personality. Was driving a part of his life, please? Because I really want to be driving. And I kind of feel like heavy driving. So would it be big machinery, please? And if I got this right, I think it would be a lorry or something like that. Okay. And I know he loved the freedom of the road. Would that make sense to you? And he said there was no other job for him, really. That's what he enjoyed. You know, and he said, and he got me out from underneath your feet as well, you know. So he just brings this lovely, lovely smile. And if I'm correct, there should be an anniversary that's probably just passed. Would you understand that? Okay, and it's just gone, you know, that he makes me aware of here. I really feel that as he comes over here, he talks about his pride in you here, Nick. He said, I know I didn't always tell you, but I am very proud of you. Right? I'm laughing here, but he said, my God, he did some things to shock us, didn't he? So I don't really want to know. I don't need to know. I'll explain that. But he talks about those things, those heart-stopping moments, he called them. It's all right here. And can I just say, have you given up the fags or something? Because he says, I'm so glad that you've given those up. Because he's showing me 2 black pillows, and they're probably now coming back as pink. Okay. So he's very happy that you've done that, you know. Oh God, your secret's coming out. You were at least 40 a day, weren't you? Yeah. So he really knows that there. So he's just wanting to have that reconnection, that love here, and say, I'm still so much part of here, and I know I am. Okay. Is there a shrine, not a shrine, a little memorial to him? Because he talks about this memorial, and your husband, your father, got a wicked sense of humor. Is he? Why aren't you on all four, you know, and doing this bit in front of the memorial? So he's got a real wicked sense of humor, shall I say, from that. And you know, and you would understand that with him. You know, he says, but I always tried the best, you know, and he loved his job, he loved his family, he loved his community. Would you understand too? Okay. Did he hail from Ely or something like that? Would you understand the connection with Ely? Oh, yes. Because he takes me over to Ely. I don't really know the area, but I know he takes me over there. That would be important to him. Okay. With his father. Would you understand the difficult relationship, please? Because he says it's important that you know that those bonds have been somehow reestablished. Okay. He said, I know I had said never, but never's an awful long time. All right. So accept his why do I keep seeing geese? Would you understand geese?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
And he keeps singing Goosey Goosey Gander or something like that, you know. So, and so would you understand geese were either chasing him or something?
Yes, they were.
All right, because I just felt as though, get those things away from me, you know, there. So, he likes, you must have changed something in the home, please. He says, I like the way the home is now. It's more suited to your needs. Would you understand that? And because it was very important to him that you were always seen to first, you know, there. And he's glad that he says you are a strong woman. And he loves that you're keeping that strength up and that you'll keep on going. All right. I know there must be 2 hospital visits because he's taking you to hospital. All right. They're here. A hip operation or something. Is it no a hip operation? No. Sorry, it's me just trying to scratch my ear. All right. Would you understand?
So I know where it is though. It's just have a needle in the spine.
Okay.
At the back of the
All right.
hip,
I was just feeling in the hip, so I'm a little bit off. So forgive me. What am I? I'm just a man. What do I know? So I just know that there's something there on that. And I'm touching the right side. It must be to the right side here. Okay. But whatever it is that happens to you, it must affect the whole of your back. Would you understand that? Because I've got this shooting pain going up and down. Okay. So he says here, oh, wait a minute. Were you about 12, 14 months ago, were you quite ill?
Yes.
Right, because I just feel there was not a wellness, and I'm not saying it was touch and go, but he was hands and saying, "Oh, she's coming home to me," you know, here. And not again. I won't say the exact word, but he went, "Oh dear," you know. So decided to stay. He said. But never mind, he said, all right. And he said, that would be a special day indeed. So understand his little there because, you know, he says here, you were always the bigger half of the heart. And he loved you all the more for that. So God bless you and thank you very much. He wasn't a very emotional man, but he would just get choked a little bit. Would you understand that? Because he just got choked then and stopped me from talking, as you can hear. All right. So thank you very much and God bless you. And thank you. Got a lovely lady coming forward here now. This lady, my goodness me, she gives me, she's quite a dynamic person. And this could be mother or grandmother here. And I really do feel that she would be a force of nature. She was so she was so strong in her personality that there wasn't very much she couldn't do. And if she couldn't do it, she'd, in a way. Anybody understand over here? I'm wanting mother or grandmother. No? Anybody? Oh, you could do. All right. Is this grandmother? Is this grandmother or mother? Or grandmother? All right. Because if it's grandmother, it's got to be mother's mother. All right. Because I know that link is with mum. Okay. Would you understand this huge big personality? And as I look at her, I'm thinking, where's that coming from? Because she was only a small person. She was very tiny here. And would you understand she very pleased that she kept her figure? Would you understand that too? Because she says, oh, look at me here, there. So she could still get into her clothes that she'd had for years. All right. But she comes here because she talks about the ups and downs and the many twists that you've had. Right? Because she says, you always did take a while to make your mind up. Okay. Because she just says, you know, 1 minute we're going down this path, and the next minute, oh, it's about turn. And she says, you make me dizzy. All right, here. Who used to love growing? Was it you that grew your veg, please? Okay. Would you grow a big, huge leek? Because you keep saying me. All right. when I say a huge leek, it's like it's metamorphosized. It's huge. Oh, all right. So, and I can see it. It's got like these huge blocks. I wouldn't know how to grow them. All right. But I know he would have been proud of it. But can I say its taste was awful? Because she said I had to cook the damn thing, and it was awful. All right. It was a monstrosity. Okay. So, but she was a lovely, lovely, giving lady. All right. Would you understand the connections further north in the country, please?
Yes.
Okay. Would Yorkshire mean something to you as well? Okay. Well, that means something to you. Because I just know I need to go to Yorkshire here. All right. And I feel as though here, what she's pleased is about that you've finally found your way. And she said it's taken this time, but you've needed to do that. And one heck of a journey. It's given you the experience and more so the passion that you've needed. Okay. And she's really just so pleased that you've finally found, because you found your soul as far as she's. Who used to argue with the vicar or the priest? So that be you? All right, because she's hedging bets both ways here, and oh my God, this, daring to do that. Okay. If I'm correct, you must have known a dog that was called Satan. Okay. So talk about inviting the devil. All right. And she was a gothic lady in so many ways, but yet she was a bit more liberal than what everybody else would have done to her. And you understand this huge teapot? And I'm talking a massive teapot. It was never off, and it was never cleaned inside either. The fur on it looks like an inch thick. Okay, so I know that what she's telling me here, that this would be all add to the flavor. All right, because she loved tea that you could stand a spoon in. Okay, and so to me, the very thought of it sending my teeth furry. Right, okay. And I know that she also would have loved her mint humbugs, the stripy ones here, and somebody else loved their Everton mints. All right, because she always used to keep a stash. All right, and I would think as a child, you always knew where she used to keep things. In the living room, there'd be a sideboard towards the back of the room, and it would be the second drawer down. All right, and it would in the middle. Okay, because she always she used to not live on that she'd seen you, but she'd know she'd know what you were doing there. Okay. Would you understand also that somebody has been digging through old photographs just of late? It talks about an old photograph, a sepia, small one of her. There would be one of her, and she's not that she's vain, but she said, "That looked good in that one." And she did have a kind of, from here she said I look like a model, but from the rest it was just a bit of a shame. Okay, but she would have a good profile, shall we say. All right, so I know that she's talking about the younger generation now all finding their feet and going out, and they've forgotten more than anything, and they're just not interested in all of this, she says. They're not interested in the family, the things there. Because I know you've said about Yorkshire, you live on the border, but would you understand where I want to go climbing in the dales or walking up the hills or something? Okay, and if that was correct, you should have known who would have been a friend or associate of you who did also volunteer for the rescue. Okay, and he's in the spirit world. He didn't know, all right, because he's here to just say, remind you here. And I just feel as though were you going to join, but you never did? Yeah. Because I know I'm wanting you to come forward. Okay. And we had a few laughs. We had someone that loved his beer, all right, although it never always loved him. Okay, and because I do know there were heart conditions with him, and he said, trust me to go to a job that would put extra pressure on his heart. So I'm thinking, you know, he's leading me to around the 50s, late 50s, that he would have passed over. All right. So I want to leave you that. I also should know Elsbeth, please. You know, would have been shortened down to Elsie. Okay. So I want Elsie. And I also want a lady. Did you sit in a circle when you were still in your 20s?
Yes.
All right. And it was led by an elderly lady. Okay. Because I just get here so I can lead you. All right. Okay. Why haven't you remembered the fundamental principles she's taught you? She's saying. Okay, because she sees you've gone slightly off it, but she said that's okay. You find your way. All right. Would you understand Mary too, please? I want Mary in the spirit world. There should be a Mary here. Okay, and I just feel that's just a hello, you know, and the knowing of that. Oh, okay, so I'll leave you with her love and thank. And just before I leave you, my God, it's kind of food making me hungry. Bourbon biscuits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, who could eat? If you had one, you would have to finish the whole pack.
I still like it now.
All right, you still like it now. Okay, don't even near the biscuit. So, thank you for that. Somebody used to brew their own, and my God, it's like paint. Because, and you could never wait till it was fully mature, could you? All right, because I think you know, oh my God, what is that? It's nothing like I tasted before. So let it mature, please. If you want to taste better. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Okay. Let's move on here. I know I've got a lady. As she comes forward, she's a little bit impatient here. With this lady, she didn't make really old bones, but I'm thinking more of an. She feels like on a friendship level, but she could be also connected loosely to the periphery of the family somehow, or felt like a sister. But I know with this lady, she talks about the dizzy spells. I know that she would have had also something like cancer or disease. It would have got it once. I think it was twice here, but it's the dizziness. And she also talks about the treatment. She maybe felt the treatment was a little worse than the actual disease. Am I coming to the back here? Speak to Chris. Just say no if you don't understand. Possibly. Would you know a friend in the spirit world, somebody who's really good friend, would have been like a family member? All right, you would have to have been very close. She was still practically a youngish woman when she passed. Okay, she would have had a disease that would have hit her twice, probably 3 times actually. Okay, would you understand dizzy spells with that as well? You know, and she talks about the treatment was harsh. Okay, and it had a real effect with her. She gives me heartburn, so she would have suffered with heartburn with it. All right, and I know I want to come to the stomach area as well here. Okay, so I do feel that it, whatever it was, it rampaged the body and it ravished her, she said here. And then she's made, but I know she would have a good sense of humor because she's, it's interesting, I was quite ravishing as well, you know, to me. So, you know, she had a good sense of humor too, but she was a good looking lady, wasn't she, in her time? And she would have been very proud of her legs. She keeps showing me her legs here because she's saying no cellulite on here. All right. So I'm then laughing about it, but she would have loved a good time. Would you understand that? And I do believe you and her could have chatted forever, although I think it's her, then it will be you. All right. Because I just feel as though we could talk about all sorts of things, and we frequently did. Okay. She's also, you must have talked about her. Would you understand? Was this you where you talked about the end of days for her? Because I know she says here, thank you for that, because you really helped her. When it actually came push, you know, it helped her a lot, you know, because of your belief and the way that you put it across. All right. And I'm not saying she didn't believe, but she wasn't quite as strong as you. Would you understand that? Okay. She's still got children. She talked about children. All right. Would you understand the fact that wanting children then, but never actually happened? Sorry? She chose her career. Okay. She keeps saying she would have liked children to me. All right. Okay. Because I just felt like I wanted to be survived by, here. I do feel that this lady was, can I just say she was a real strong personality. She wanted something. You and the world were not going to get in her way. All right. And she steamrolled through you then. She did it in an act with a smile, but she did it all the same. Okay. But she said that was how she was. She was cut and thrust. And she had to be like that because she was never going to let any man win over her. Would you understand that? I think she could give any man a run for his money. All right. I do feel would she understand there was a male environment where she worked? And she said it was very hard to crack that. Okay. Because it was like this brother association. All right. But she was well respected, wasn't? Because she said, when it came to my funeral, my God, there wasn't even standing room. All right, because she's, where have all these come from? She's showing me lining around the walls, all right, here. And she said she was really touched by that, that they really came and turned out involved. In fact, did they close the office or close something? Because she talked about they would never do that, but they actually closed it. Okay. She was cremated, was she? Yes. Okay. Well, I know she was cremated, really, because she said, "Who put me in that plastic urn?" Oh, okay. Because she told you she could have put me in a better one. It just felt like it was in a plastic. And I just feel, would you understand where the whole funeral part, there was something funny at the funeral. She said it was like a comedy of errors in some places. Would you understand? Would that make sense to you? Do you know that? Sorry? It was a colour scheme. Okay. But she just thought it was like a colour thing. And could be really, it seems strange. She's handing me an Asda carrier bag. Would you understand when whoever went to collect her, she was in an Asda carrier bag. Her remains were in an Asda carrier bag before she was put in that. Will you check that, please? Okay, because she shows me, oh my God, they obviously weren't ready for when she was being collected. Okay, but she said she could see all the funny. I know that. Would you understand the mum was horrified by some things? Okay, because she said, "Oh, Mum, it's all right. Get a life, all right." Here, I know that you still miss her, obviously, and you still have those thoughts about her. Please, did she not like yellow or peach and orange colour? Because she keeps throwing these like roses that coloured that in the bin. Would that make sense to you? I feel that somebody got the wrong flowers. Okay, all right. So I'll accept that with to the as though these colour, and it was just it. She had a certain standard. You'd have to understand that. She to that and that standard. All right, here. Can I say she was very smart when she was dressed as well? Very smart. All right. And she was well, and there was never going something over her. Would that make sense to you? All right. How can I know I want Dad here too? Sorry? Yes. You look like, sorry, I thought, but I know that I want Dad here, that as he comes forward a little reserved, a little sheepish, please. Would that make sense to you? You don't know. I think it's because he doesn't want to upset you. Would you understand that? All right, because I felt like things are still very raw. Would that make sense? But he comes here with a lot of love for you and just wants to hold you and say, I'm okay, I'm all right, you know, and he wished he could say the same about you, okay, because he knows that you still feel that pain there, okay. I want to say a lovely man, a lovely soul, okay, and I do feel he would have had a word for people, and I do say only most, you know, because there was some that got on his nerves. You would understand that too. All right. He just sits here with a big smile and just says, "Tell my girl I'm here," because he used to wait for you to come in, and he used to say, he used to wait for you to come in. Would you understand? He'd set his watch by you because he's looking at the time. Oh, she's here. She should be here, and he'd start to worry if you were 2 minutes late. All right. Even though, you know, you were at the shop or something or other, but 2 minutes late here. Did you used to buy him something from the shop on the way there? Okay, I just know, I'm sorry, I'm deaf, so I can't really hear you, but I will just say that I know he tells me you bought something on the way from the shop, all right? And he would always wait for that, okay? And he said, there you go, there's your proof, all right, that I'm still here, okay? And I do believe this man, you know, he did have exuberance for life, but he said, I had the good grace to know when it was coming to its end as well. You know, and he said, and I was fully prepared for that. All right. It was just maybe the shock for you and others, but for him, he was ready. He said, I was ready. Okay. Would you understand Wilf as well, please? All right. Oh, we keep a lurcher or a greyhound. I may have left you if you don't understand that. You're not sure? Okay, can I just ask you to hold that? Does anybody understand that lurcher or a greyhound that may possibly call an wolf or something? No, all right. You did know a wolf, okay. Would you know if he'd kept these kind of dogs? You wouldn't know, all right. Okay, I want to try and get away now to the people, but I'm going to say, Wilf is just popping in to say hello, but I know if you can check or find out, there should be a lurcher or something like that type of dog, okay? And pigeon fancier. You used to know somebody who loved the pigeons as well. They want to do to bring all the animals in for you here. Okay. You can't. I know we have to go back here, and I have to go back to when you were a child. All right. You know somebody called the Bert or Bert Whistle. So it's either Bert, the first name, or Bert Whistle, the second. Okay, I know you're only 25, but it's still a long time ago. No, okay. So can I leave that with you? Like, do you know you will find that where you were a child, and I know that there would have been a neighbour or somebody there called the Bert or Bert Whistle, and I do believe we used to keep pigeons. All right. So thank you very much for working with me, and God bless you. Okay. Oh, drinking the wrong one. All right. Okay. I'll come to you here on the end here. You know, you look almost startled. I'm not going to eat you. Okay. I know as I come to you here, would you understand that it's been a hard old life, please? Because they keep showing me saying, my God, are we ever going to get over this mountain? Would that make sense to you? All right. I don't know how and I don't know why, but I know that I want a grandmother who comes forward to you, who would have been quite important to you when she was here in this life. And I know that you would have been quite close, and you would have spent time with her as a child, almost feeling that, you know, you either preferred her company or you were farmed out to her. Would that make sense to you? Okay. And she understood then that life was not always easy for you, because I just want to talk about circumstances around you weren't great. I won't go into it, but she acknowledges that. All right, because she says here that you still carry the past. Would that make sense? Yes, no, because she talks about you carrying this still, emotions, shall we say, in your heart. All right, and she wants to come to you and and say, I'm here for you. I'm here, because she knows you've been saying prayers and asking, when is this going to end? And she said, if I could have my way, it would end today, and doing that. But she knows you've got the strength, and she must have believed in God, because she says God wouldn't give it you if he didn't think you'd take it. All right. So she was a God-fearing lady, and she just wants to bring this forward. Would you know she would have loved her floral prints, please? Okay. Not liking probably, she did. She's showing me here, so I have to accept that, But she showed me this kind of, she liked to keep bright, and keep her personality bright here. And I really feel that she wouldn't push you on anything. Would you understand that? She would let you open up yourself, and that, because she knew that you would get revelation, and it would take you some time to do that. Are you not looking after yourself as good as you should be? Because she says you need to do a bit better than you have doing. So you've been putting yourself on the back burner. All right. And she just says here to me, just give it time, because I know there must be several changes you're wanting. All right. And she talks about, well, these will take time, but we will know that. Okay. Moves that might be necessary, please. If it's not a move of house of a position. Okay. Okay. Do you understand the surname Windsor? Okay. All right. If it's not Windsor, it'd have to be Castle. Would that make sense to you? All right. Do you understand that? Sorry. All of a sudden, I was just pulled over here. So, sorry, I think I've left you. So, accept your grandmother's love, and I'll say thank you for working with it. So, is it Castle, understand, or Windsor? Windsor, all right. But you would also understand Windsor Castle, and there's been a connection there. Would you understand that too? Was somebody in service there, please? Okay, because I want that being in service. I almost want, with my knees, I can't curtsy, but I want to, do the curtsy. Okay, and I feel that, would you understand, she would have been quite important, because she has a big shackle of keys here, all right, there, and she would have been quite well thought of as well. And there should have been a family, some pieces or something that was given to her in honor, and it should have stayed within the family. All right. Sorry? Okay. Would you understand when she says, I understand that it may not be possible to keep them? All right. Okay. Because I feel as though I want to talk about things that need to be divided up. All right. And she was very forthright, wasn't she? Because she said, you're not giving them that, are you? That's too much to me to give them. All right, you're going to stay, but were you thinking about giving it on or something? Because she doesn't, she wants you to keep the certain things there too. And I know that there should be several little brooches as well. Okay. Would you understand a very colourful stone in one? Oh, okay. And it looks very thinly sliced, here, but it holds a lot of memories for her, but it also holds a lot of memories for you. All right. She'd like to see you wear that, and keep that one. Okay. I know that she had a very full and fruitful life, this lady, and she could regale people with a lot of stories, and she'd say, oh, the comings and goings I saw, it would make your toes curl. All right. So I don't want to be giving any state secrets. Okay. All right. She just wanted to say, I'm still here. I'm still with you, because she talks about, the family you know, we're all here and we're all looking at this single left, which is you there. And and they are just all so happy, really. And the same, like Linda here. Ooh, not, okay, all right. Can I say you're more redder than you should be in your hair colour? All right, because she's gone, wow, like this. So quite a shocker. Oh, okay, and yet I feel that's the kettle calling the pot black, because she would do it, which I do want to laugh because I do feel she wants to say I could rival you in a lot of things. And this was a little lady that had big presence and a big power about her, and boy did she have a booming voice. Okay, because she really did have to. Would you also understand a penny whistle, please? I've got a penny whistle here, and if this is correct, some you don't with the spoons as well, please, and very adeptly, I might add, because he can actually recognise the tunes that he would play here. And I never want to talk about a little group of people that would all come together, you know, and play together under that guise, but I think they'd end up a little bit worse for wear by the end of the night. All right. So they enjoyed a good drink and a good laugh and that camaraderie, because I also want to talk about a gentleman who wants to come to you here personally, and he's winking at you, all right, and he wants to give you all his love here and saying, I've remembered, and he's bringing a single red rose for you, so I know it's important and I know it's love. Oh, okay. There must also be kid as well, please, in memory. So he talked about a rose. Actually, there should be several roses. Well, not quite 7, but there's quite a few roses that are planted for people. Sorry? Okay. And because I want a lilac rose as well. Would you understand? It cost a fortune at the time, but because they're saying, my God, how much? Really? So I think he was a bit of a thrifty person, you know, that. Well, he says, I'm only giving you the one rose because I can't afford the rest. Okay, well, he did like what? Would a brown ale or a brown a thing there too, and you would understand somebody who would like the Macassans as well, a lady who would love a little bottle of Macassans. Well, of course you understand it there, all right? That is not as a kid myself. Did this do it? Oh wow. But I know it's showing me that here, and you would understand that grandma would have a baby sham. She would have loved a baby sham, and that she would have collected the glasses at one time. Okay, and I was going to say they're not to be used. You know, they were for show. All right, even though they were freebies, you know, they're still for show. Okay, and she's glad that that you still got this memorabilia, because they're talking about you should have something where it's actually full with all of this regalia and all this remembrance here, and I'm almost afraid to open it because I feel as though it's all going to come cascading out. All right. Also, before I leave you here, did you make a blanket with the lady here? I'm sewing another blanket. I'm sewing patches onto it. All right, here. And I want to talk about happy memories, happy days when we did that. All right, because I felt that she actually in a way taught you how to become almost like a seamstress, because she was, but you can't, she says you can't do it like you used to do it now. Your fingers aren't behaving. All right, so she understands that. So there. But I also hear, would you understand mother would have suffered with arthritis, please? Yeah, and because she says, sorry, it's passed on through her line to you. You know, so I just felt with mum, in the hands would have been misshapen here. All right, and also here at the back, there would have been there. But mum was a tough old girl, wasn't she? You know, I wouldn't like to meet her down a dark alley in a dark night. All right, because she was really, really strong then. So all the women in your thing, I think the women in your family were more like men than the men. Okay. Also, before I leave you here, Jeff wants to be remembered to you, please. He wants to be, and so does. Is it Harry or Harvey, something like that? Harry. There, okay. And who used to love the betting on the dogs? Sorry. man that bought one rose. Right. That stands to reason then, okay. And no wonder it looked a bit misshapen because it was probably the cheapest one that the last one was left. All right. You know, I can hear him laughing and he said, but the sentiment was there. But the sentiment was there. All right. He didn't want to leave it. Did he love his meat pie? Because he wants it as soon as he gets meat pie on the table, gravy and pea. And I don't see a lot of veg, but I just see this meat pie, gravy and peas. So he would have had simple taste, you know, and I think it's shovel that down, not little. You know, but you were happy about that, weren't you? You know, it was out of your feet. So I'll leave you with their love and say thank you very much for working with me there. It's fine. That's okay. All right. I've got another lovely lady who comes forward here, and you know, I know this lady would have been mum, would have been wife, and a lovely presence here. And I do feel that she, my goodness, she kind of suffered to the end of her life. Here she talks about finding it very, very hard. And I know that she would be very concerned, you know, about you and how you lived. Would you understand this here, please? Are you all connected? Because I just feel like I'm talking to you all. All right. So this would be mum and your wife, would that be? Or something? Would this be your mum? Your mum here, okay. And you would understand that here that, my goodness, she said I did suffer a little bit, you know, but she tried to keep upbeat as possible. And I do feel that, would you understand the pain sometimes immobilized her? Or this pain that would immobilize her. But I know as she comes forward here, she loved the children. Would you understand that she would do anything for the children, even if she was in pain? And she was here. Were you always telling her off for giving them sweets or giving things off, doing what she shouldn't have been doing? Okay. Right. Well, she's saying you, so I'm going to accept that. Oh, okay, because she doesn't. You know, but she loved to spoil. She was a feeder. She said, I was a feeder. I like to feed people, and I like because she made her eat. You know, and it didn't. Well, that she could, you know, cook quite well, couldn't she? You know, here. I think she loved to cook more than she liked to bake. Would that make sense? Oh, she would have baked, but she liked both. Okay, sorry, I got that wrong. Probably that's, you know, but she just gave me the cooking more there. Okay. But she just wanted to be reunited because I know that you've been thinking about her lately, you know, and it's kind of like, what would mum do in this situation? How would this work? Because if you've got this right, would you understand that you've got a battle on your hands at the moment? She's talking about gearing up for that battle. And she says, well, you think you've been fighting it long and hard now till we get going. This is only the preliminary stage, all right? But you're doing this for somebody else, aren't you? Okay, because I just felt like I wanted to talk about fighting the establishment, okay? And, you know, and she's like a little tiny knight in knight's armor, all ready for the battle, you know? So she's really coming in strong presence for you. And she has, you know, she knows that you've got everything prepared because she knows that you look at everything, you cross the T's and dot the I's, all right? And she feels that you are well prepared. And she says, with me behind you, we're going to scare them into submission, all right? So, you know, but you know, the offshot of this is I do believe that we will get something, all right? They were good because, sorry, like she said, oh, get rid of us, you know, that they're going to give in something there. Oh, okay. I feel here, have you been going through some of her things, please? You know, because she talks about you going through these things, but you can't bear to get rid of them. All right, because would you understand? There must be clothing, a jumper, an article, something. Clothing that I feel that her presence is still on there. It's almost like I can smell her. You've got her jacket, okay. I'll accept that because I just know I've still got that. Like it's not been laundered, you know. Oh well, never mind. But it's that her presence is on that, you know, and it's also like, I know sometimes you must just hold it for that comfort there. Okay. Would you understand April, please, here? April as memories and anniversaries as well, please. Okay. All right. It's around 9th or 10th or something like that. 8th, one day out. Okay. She keeps showing me lots of, who loves the bunnies? She keeps showing me bunnies everywhere, rabbits. Okay. I've seen like the toy ones here, the toy, as though Easter would have been really quite an important time, you know, here. And I do believe she could, would you understand making an Easter cake? Okay, just feel as though whatever the occasion was, I could do it. All right. And she was very, very artistic, very good at that sort of thing. But I believe you don't have that patience for that. It's all right, you call me wrong, it doesn't matter. But she, you know, she didn't name the intricacy of it. All right. But she knows that you don't have that amount of time for it, you know, for there. And you know, she wants to just bring you a little, you know, this little bit of respite, because she knows you're not sleeping as well as you could be. And she knows you're mentally, physically, and emotionally tired out, you know. And so she says, I promise you, we will get through this, all right? Because she's not going to allow her daughter to fall. And you're not going to. As long as she's there, which she is, you know, she said, I couldn't be here to give you that support physically, but I am here. And, you know, you are your mother's daughter, I have to say. Will she be deaf in you? Okay. And if that's correct, she must have had a bit of tinnitus or something, because she's playing havoc with my ear. Oh, right, I was going to say, because it feels like somebody's playing a tin drum here. All right. So it must have, I know it annoyed her, but she just didn't want to be referred to as, and a hearing aid would have been old. All right. So, God, I must be ancient because I've got two, you know, but it's the way she life. Okay. So she just wanted to bring that love around here, and she wants to say, well done, mate. She's looking forward to July. Is there something to do with July? Okay. July is good news. It's good news in July. All right. So because you were hoping it was going to be done before break, all right, or something. We're looking for a break in July. All right. Okay. So I'll leave you with that. It's been a pleasure for working on it. And God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Borrow that back if I may. Thank you very much. That is the wonderful thing about this one. You do forget it's there, but I certainly think that none of us will ever forget tonight's demonstration. That rubbing the hands together was definitely something my dad did all the time, and the personality, the characteristics, and the stories. You have my dad to a T, and I know that he would have looked forward to meeting you again, with what he can. Because the further away the medium travels, the more he likes to keep them talking in the kitchen, so that you can discuss the roads that you've travelled. And so, you know, he would have definitely counted on you, Chris. So, thank you so much for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jacobs. Now, I will say something, because not a lot of people know this, but Chris has actually made a donation to our raffle tonight. And so, one of you will actually be taking his book home with you. Well, let's talk about how We're attached to the internet. There are a few people watching. So if you would like to go on to amazon.co.uk, you could also own one of these books. I've actually already ordered mine. I snuck on the tab. A Life Far From Ordinary, My Life with Spirit by Chris Jacobs. It is available through Amazon. Have you got a Kindle version as well? And there is a Kindle. This is when you know that. It's available on Kindle and in paperback. So it's going to be well worth a read. Somebody very luckily tonight is going to win this as part of the raffle. So thank you for your donation. I love the cover, by the way. I love the cover. So thank you for that. And there you go. There you go. We've just sold another raffle ticket. There you go. So if anybody would like some more raffle tickets to try and win Chrissy's book, see Mum in the next 3.5 minutes. For everyone at home, I'll post a link on the church page later. I will dig it out and share it. Because we can do that too. Well, friends, a big thank you, of course, to Chris, and a thank you to all of you for coming out week in, week out. Thank you, everyone who does stuff, be it from the smallest to the greatest, putting out chairs, helping wash up, move tables, give healing, do readings, but just turning up is equally blessed. So thank you all. And we are going to be saying our closing prayer in a moment. And then we will have our raffle and then some tea and coffee. I'll just grab the kit of love and hope. Joy, thank you. But next week, our medium is Anne Ford. Yeah, I actually got that right. So Anne Gordon will be here next week. I look forward to that. If you still haven't, you've probably got around about 48 hours before the cutoff. For anyone who would like to come to this month's workshop, which is in here on Sunday from 10 until 4. Until 4 was the white drumming group that's 10 till 1. I always mix the two now. But yes, until 4, we have the workshop called Words to the Wise at £15, and it does come with lunch. So that are coming and are here tonight. Get your suggestions in because I haven't decided yet. I might be led by the weather. But that's this coming Sunday. I think that's it. I don't think there's any more notices. So once again, a big thank you to our medium for tonight, Chris Jacobs. Buy the book. So rub my hands. It's like touching down together. So, friends, let's join together and close this evening in. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together as friends and unite under your banner of love, of hope, and of friendship. To witness your proof and your truth that life is indeed eternal. As we go out into the world, Great Spirit, give us the courage, the strength, and the joy to share that message of continuity, of hope, and of happiness. And Great Spirit, we know that in times of difficulty, we ask you not to move the mountain. Just give us the strength to climb. But until we meet again, everything we do will, of course, be in love, truth, and light. Amen. And I promise to get my tooth fixed soon. Bit gappy. Well, friends, a big thank you, of course, to everyone at home for joining us. You can stay for the raffle because I can't be bothered to press the button. Press. You tell I get help while I actually do this all the time. We're not. Spirit help. I can't be bothered to press the button. So, our first prize and our winner tonight will be picked by Chris. It's on the blue.
293.
293. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba. Oh, let's pull that up out of the way so I don't get accused of and she's giving it to the person who wants it. See, they do that a lot. Swap prizes. It's really, really lovely to watch. 135. 135. Oh, it's not George. Oh, Eunice, well done, Eunice. I tell you what, if you're feeling brave, you can walk past the camera on your way back and give them a bash. And if anybody hasn't seen it, you too can own one of these t-shirts. Oh, look. Available. Yeah. / Spirit line. 143. 143. You too can have mine and Tony Swindle's face on your boobies. 230. What, mother? The what? Oh, right. Oh, very nice too. Enjoy that. Nice bit of scrum. I tell you what, Dad would have had that in a heartbeat. Nice bit of scrumpy. Da, 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 da. It's in my head now. 126. 126. Somebody must. There you go. Come and win a prize. Da, 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 da. 238. And the next one is 253. Hey, well done. Da, 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 da. 262. And of course, before we open the kitchen, Hannah shouted at the camera. It's Bully's special prize, 266. 266. Hey. That concludes the raffle. Congratulations to the winners. Commiserations to those that didn't win. Louise, reading your book. That's how keen she was to get it. Oh, there you go. She'd like you to sign it if mine. Extra fee, you know. Friends, thank you all for being here. Again, one final thank you, of course, to our medium for this evening, Chris Jacobs. God bless you all. May the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. Good night, everyone at home. Good everyone out here. But for now, it's those magic words you've all been looking forward to. The kitchen is now open. Good night and God bless you all. And good night to you at home. Sadly, was afraid of breaking it. Everyone at home right now, because you can hear me and everyone else can't. Here comes the music. Good night and God bless.